What up, everybody out there on podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Ken Ross Present the Yeah, I Said It podcast. We expressing our full capabilities. Today might want us in correctional facilities. Branch out of my shot. I am the dad half of this operation. Ross Cooper, we're coming to you live and in public, if you will, with laughter in my voice for our off-screen conversation I'll explain momentarily. But as always, I am rocking with the best. My co-host, please introduce yourself to the folks.
Yeah, we're good. Everybody was having a good day, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. Please share with your friends, family, pets, and bug on the wall, mailman outside, aliens, the water, Zeus, God, all that. And if you're watching on the tube, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Because if you don't, you're gonna get struck by lightning.
Yeah, not in a Thor kind of way. I'm sorry. We were the giggle was because we'll get to it at the back end of the show. The giggle was because we were talking about Marvel and Thunderbolts and just in my opinion, the history of just underpowered or nerfed villains. Like Iron Man was '08. We are almost 20 years deep. In 20 years, Marvel has concocted three, three memorable villains.
Or
Thanos, of course. Well,
five.
I'll let you. Thanos, Loki, Killmonger, and in real time, Killmonger isn't really that dude as a villain, but the way Michael B. Jordan portrayed him and the bars he dropped in his brief time. When we talk about memorable Marvel villains, Thanos, Loki, Killmonger. This is not to say there have not been powerful villains. We should have got more out of Ultron. We should have definitely got more out of Sentry. Um, Definitely should have got more out of Gorda God Butcher. And yet,
I disagree. It's been six. Nah, I really thought about it.
okay,
Once you name, so I was what, three?
yep, three.
Ultron, Hella, and then Gore the God Butcher. That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
because the Ragnarok was really good and she was a hell of a great villain. Don't lie.
Um,
Especially when she caught the hammer and broke that joint. Like, come on.
Agreed. Agreed. I will give you that. Okay, fine. Hella. That's four. For me, that's four.
Six for me.
Given Gore's act again, this is, and I'm not a comic nerd, but understanding how powerful Gore should have been. And again, shout out to Christian Bale. That was just another great acting job. Shout out to Christian Bale.
Legend.
But as powerful as Gore the God would should have been, we should have seen a lot more dead gods, so to speak.
That's not a
Um,
that's Marvel writing. That's not the villain itself was good. The movie was trash. Most
that's
of
kind of,
your complaints is the villains are trash and the movie's trash. Like,
no,
no.
no. I'm just saying you're like spoiler alert for anyone who's already seen Thunderbolt or not seen Thunderbolts. Like, dog, that movie was about 2 hours and 10 minutes long. I loved 2 hours of it. It was 2 hours of it. It was great. And the last you beat a god level villain with a group hug. Yeah, I just that's not. Come on, dog. You
After
so conversely, just looking at it, you have Thanos who takes the entire legion of everyone, right? That's how you beat a god level guy. Everybody. You do the circle thingy and everybody comes back. How do you beat this guy, also a god level villain? With a group hug. Alrighty.
it's not that simple, and that's why
It's it's
that's
it's
why
like
you gotta watch the
it's like
movie.
the
It's not
it's
that
like an
simple.
episode for those of us old enough to remember the cartoon. It's like an episode of Care Bears. They may as well give them the Care Bear stare. But
It's not that simple. Like I said, if you watch the movie, because this is where context comes into play, and if you just say that broad statements, is context comes into the creed. The dude's not a villain to begin with. He has a
right,
dark side to him,
right.
an evil side to him, because he has mental health problems, and that's true in the comics. They kept true to that. So he
Mm-hmm.
has a dark side problem or an alter ego that has a dark
Mm-hmm.
side because he's mentally ill and an ex drug addict. So the only way to literally beat him is damn near with him beating himself. That's basically what happened. They talked him in to give him the strength to beat himself. Because other than that, there is no one in Marvel that can beat that mother. Outside of maybe Scarlet Witch. But then realistically, no. So yeah, they ain't no one that can beat him but him. Probably Doom later, but other than that, ain't nobody that can touch him. So yeah, it made sense. They went the mental health route, which is true, which is if you're struggling with your identity and your issues and stuff, and you got, split personality and all that, the only one that can beat, and you are a god level, and you fighting regular people with guns and a shield and a robot arm. The only way to beat you is you beat yourself. That's it. It wouldn't have made it would have been more corny and stupid if they beat him in an actual fight. I'd have walked out the theater, gave it a 0. But the fact that they went that route, which I kind of figured they would, because that was my only question. Once I found out that he was in it, I was like, okay, so they're gonna fight the Void. How the fuck they gonna beat him? Is somebody else gonna come and help? Is Doctor Strange and everyone else just gonna come out the left? That's what I
Thank
was
you.
thinking, because I'm like,
There's your answer right there. There's your
but
answer. We
they
could have pulled
didn't.
that on.
Yeah, but they didn't, which I'm pretty sure they're saving for the Avengers movie and stuff, and Fantastic Four, which I'm dying to see how that works with Galactus. Are they gonna screw him up? But
No,
but it looks
no.
like they're not because of the end credits thing, spoiler alert. But what I was saying, yeah, it made sense, and it wasn't done so, and somehow it wasn't done in the most corny way. It was done in a good way. Like it could have been ultra corny way. I'm like, man, what? But it was done in a
Again,
way that they built up to it that it made sense. Like if you didn't have the interaction with him, spoiler alert again, when they was locked in that room, and then progressively all that, and they had a little bonding, climbing up the little thingamajig or whatever, the tunnel or whatever. It's like it made sense. You build it up to it. You build a level of trust and all that, and they're all messed up anyway. They all got mental health problems. Realistically, this is a mental health movie for real, for real. So yeah, it
so
made it made sense. I'm not even mad at it. I'd have been
so
more mad if they won with fighting.
that's why you're in black and white today. You're part of the void.
Yeah. I mean, I meant to do it because we going back in time, but yeah, I am part of the void. Void came in the building.
My goodness. So yeah, so 2 hours and 5 minutes, and pretty much you have the equivalent of a Care Bear stare. Anyone above 35 is going to get that joke. But
I mean, then they make Care Bears anymore.
excuse me. Okay. Um, woo, Care Bear stare. So as is the case, it seems every week, every time we do this, we can't leave the White House. Can't leave the White House. Um, I really like to get away from talking about the Mango Menace at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Really would. It just seems like, as they say, the jokes or the issues write themselves. So you can't make this up. You can't make this up. So Trump has a spiritual advisor, goes by the name of Robert Morris, who is a former Texas megachurch pastor, and he has been indicted for not just sex crimes, child sex crimes. I just pause briefly.
Major pause.
Oh, see, how is your spiritual advisor a pedo? Come on. The jokes write themselves. This is pretty much an alley oop to you. Like, how is this? Your spiritual advisor is a pedo? Seriously?
Does it make sense considering who he is? I mean, that makes sense.
Like, listen, we all know the allegations of Trump and SA. We all know this, but to his credit, if we got to give credit, we ain't never had Trump connected to minors. He ain't never been at the
Mm,
Diddy parties. Ain't never been connected to minors.
I don't know about that one. He is linked to the Epstein stuff.
See,
Two, two, there is some stuff he said on camera about his own daughter that was underage.
okay, that's
That
just weird.
that's
That's
just
super
weird.
weird.
That's not. She wasn't eight. One, it's weird on so many levels. It doesn't even matter if she was an adult because that's your daughter. But he was saying
Right,
this when
right.
she was a
But she
kid.
wasn't. She wasn't a
She,
minor.
yes,
But
she
that's still
was.
super
Yeah,
weird.
she was. She was. He was saying that when he was a kid too, when she was a minor. But go ahead. Either way, it's still weird. But go ahead.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That is just like it's. I'm being nice. That's not weird. It's disgusting. Like that's disgusting. Like, bro, that ill, just ill.
It makes sense that that's his spiritual advisor. You know, it makes sense.
See, if you are of a certain leaning, if you are woke, so to speak, in the sense that it was meant to be used as, unfortunately, this tracks. Unfortunately, this tracks. Completely tracks. Like your spiritual advisor is a pedo. Only thing I need to know is if he's Catholic, which is hilarious because oh boy, have you? Side note, so there's a new pope. I saw everybody jumping at the
Chirac.
news. There's a new pope. Um, Lord, I don't know if you've seen the jokes because apparently he might be like he got like the one drop rule somewhere in his lineage is some brother.
Your BD man.
So I'm like, and the joke I saw that had me crying for those who've seen the movie. It was like he about as black as old girl was from Sinners.
Don't be talking about having
But
anything like that, man.
but yeah, there's new pope. Old boy is from Chicago. That's like wow, wow. The pope is from the shy. The pope is from the shy. Who'd have saw that? Who'd have thunk it? But you a Texas mega church pastor. More about the Robert Morris, Texas mega church pastor, and particularly active in Dallas area politics. I'm getting this right off the Texas Tribune. That date back to that in Oklahoma, that date back to the 80s.
A lot
You
of
just
spirits
didn't.
being passed. Good God.
Goodness. Morris was at the time working as a traveling preacher. Apparently, might did a lot of laying on of hands. I, you know, so you go from traveling preacher to mega church pastor, and now you get the nod to be Trump's spiritual advisor. Whole time you might be out here liking people way beneath the legal age of consent.
Which is crazy. Because couldn't Trump do the most craziest stuff and just pardon it?
Mm.
Or can he not? I don't know how that works.
Oh crap! I I don't know. I think it depends. This kind of goes back to Luigi. I think it depends on who the charges are levied by. If it's a federal charge, he might be able to wipe it clean. Um,
I mean, that
but
sounds
if it's not a
like a
federal
charge.
charge,
It's not.
5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child. Oklahoma, Oklahoma, Oklahoma AG's office. So these are state charges. And in an interesting way, good. Glad they're state charges because if they were federal charge, I don't.
I don't know how the pardon works.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. This might be one of those interesting times where you don't. It's one thing to give all those January 6th asshats a pardon. It's a whole nother animal to pardon a child molester.
It is.
And I don't. He ain't that goofy.
No, I don't think he
He,
will. I was
yeah,
just saying to really flex his power, he would do some shit like that. But I don't think he will. Because
no, no,
I don't
no.
even think your biggest, actually, not lie, not lie, your biggest supporter is going to just drink whatever you pee out. So I don't know.
You
Yeah,
no, because you
I
can't
think
make this. You can't. The one thing I've noticed about Trump supporters is they have an interesting borderline warped logic that allows them to explain damn near everything
not
away.
borderline. It's warped. But go ahead.
Depends on what it is. Like certain things, like it's like you'll feed them a statement that's totally problematic, and they'll pick out the 2% that's not. They'll somehow twist it to where they find that 2% that's not problematic, and
That,
go with it from there.
that's warped. Some
They,
kind
they,
of
they say there's a little bit of truth in every lie. So they find that 2% that tracks and then blow it up. But no, you can't. There's no getting around this one. There's no explaining this one because yeah, you're pretty much gonna out yourself as a PDF file. So
I don't think he will. The backlash might be too strong even for him, but who
yeah,
knows?
you can't. We're gonna lead us in the states. There's not gonna be this overreach because we know when Luigi's trial comes up, they're gonna try to overreach as much as they can and put that in federal jurisdiction. They're not gonna overreach. This he gonna have to eat this one. Now I wonder if he magically ends up like Epstein, but he gonna have to eat this one.
Epstein. You gonna have a bad
Hmm.
time regardless in prison for doing that.
Yeah.
That
No,
might just
no.
be
I was gonna
natural.
say, oh, that's now see, this is where it sucks being a priest. You can't pull an Epstein. You can't look like you offed yourself because then you get damned to eternal damnation and hellfire.
I think he don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't think he has to worry about that. I think his feet.
I'm just talking about the optics. I'm just talking about the optics.
The optics are already bad. You can't get for there's him killing himself might be the best thing he can do. I mean, on GTA. So yeah, him doing that, doing the Epstein route. I mean, hey, that like I said, if this is all true and his faith is true, he's already sold his faith because I'm pretty sure they don't like that.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
yeah, independent. See, you might have did a triple whammy. Forcefully, that's a child, and depending if they were boys, homosexual.
It's just all
So,
kind of.
bro, you just did you want me in the lowest gate of hell. Hitler might be
Yeah,
your neighbor.
you pretty much going to the Leopold branch on that one, buddy.
Hitler might be like, "Hey, what's up, brother?"
Well, we had to rename. Remember, the Hitler wing has now been renamed the Leopold wing. No, it's still the Hitler wing. I gotta go to the Hitler wing.
Nah, it's the Leopold. I mean, they both down there. They're neighbors. I'll go with
Hey,
Leopold because he killed more people. But yeah, either way, he down there with them.
oh
So,
yeah, yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
so, I don't,
Rodney Hinton-
so him going
yeah,
that
this,
route will not matter. The optics are already horrible. You're a priest. That's not what you're supposed to do, even though that's kind of what y'all do. But that's not what you're supposed to do. So yeah,
mm.
makes you wonder.
Okay, so now we have to get ugly. Robert Hinton Jr. I'm taking this right out of the Cincinnati Enquirer. Robert Hinton Jr., if you don't know the story, has been indicted and is possibly facing the death penalty in Cincinnati. He killed a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy with a car, and they're saying that this was intentional. Now, in a interesting twist, and I don't know how this is going to go. There's a $25, right? $25 million lawsuit accusing police of excessive force. So anyone who thinks someone that's been arrested and indicted on offing an officer, who doesn't think the officers you didn't use excessive force. Like that's all but a gimme. But that's all but a gimme. That's all but a gimme. What they're saying is subjected to excessive force resulting in visible injuries following his May 2nd arrest by Cincinnati PD. So let me spell it out very, very simply here. You are accused of offing an officer. How gentle do you think these cops are going to be when they finally arrest you? I am curious to see how all of this plays out because it's that interesting piece of, hey, no matter what you're accused of, no matter how heinous the crime, you don't get to just arbitrarily beat the fuck out of me. You didn't do it to Dylan Roof. You got a McDonald's. So yeah, let's see how that goes. This is going to be crazy, and there's an element to this that I got to touch on. Because there's a twist in this, and I apologize that I'm late getting to it. But he didn't just arbitrarily run over an officer. Didn't just arbitrarily run over an officer. I believe this is a what could be interpreted as retaliation. But yeah, there we go. So it's believed that Henry was upset, and I'm direct quote, upset and agitated that day, according to detective testimony, because Cincinnati police had shown him and other family members body cam video of his son being fatally shot by a Cincinnati police officer the previous day. So let this marinate for a second. Obviously, I say this often, obviously I'm a dad. If officers came to show me, if I get word that my co-host has left this realm at the hands of law enforcement, I'm going to feel exactly as this gentleman did. Is this justification? I wouldn't. We're not supposed to live in an eye for an eye world. It's not how this is supposed to go. But there's this funny little thing called qualified immunity when it comes to police officers. There's the blue wall of silence when it comes to police officers, and it's pretty darn hard to get a police officer convicted of murder. It only kind of takes something like, I don't know, kneeling on somebody's neck for roughly 10 minutes or so.
On camera. Don't forget that. Because I'm sure it happens off camera and they walk. So on camera.
Touche. So you pretty much need a public execution on camera for the world to see to get a conviction of wrongdoing on law enforcement. If we need any further evidence of this, the officers that essentially executed Tyre Nichols have all been acquitted in Memphis. All acquitted.
That was on camera too, actually.
On camera, right? So again, putting myself as the parent of a black man, and if I am shown video footage that my co-host is no longer here at the hands of law enforcement, I am fairly sure of what I'm going to feel. And I'm also fairly sure that it is going to be very similar to what this gentleman felt. Because, as again evidenced by so many other cases, but most recently Tyre Nichols, where all of these officers have been found not guilty in the beating death of Tyre, what recourse do I have? Let's make no mistake. We haven't heard much about it. It hasn't made a lot of national news, but law enforcement, for all intents and purposes, is still the biggest organized gang in this country. And as we can see, and so unfortunately, in so many instances, they still get to murder with impunity.
It'll be even worse now. Who's in office?
And the interesting piece. Now, I will say this because you were the first person to send me to it. We had a small debate in reference to this gentleman versus Luigi, and if these two things are the same. My issue is, and I think we touched on this before. Luigi attempted to cut the head of the snake. This gentleman took a different route. It's not cutting the head of the snake. In fact, it's landed him in jail, facing the death penalty. But it's not cutting the head of the snake. It is essentially the equivalent of the elimination of a pawn. There are many pawns. Luigi took a shot at the king. Now, to quote Omar, you come for the king, you best not miss, and he didn't miss. But from the people's standpoint, if I was picking which one is more impactful, and do not misinterpret me, this is not me agreeing with either action. This is just me analyzing both actions. If we're thinking about which one can possibly affect more change, more policy, it's what Luigi did. If we were talking in terms of how to affect change, period, it's probably both. If you want to send a clear message that certain behaviors will not be tolerated, it's both. But I think the head of the snake is a little more important. But I've been talking for a minute now, sir. Your thoughts on all of this. It's wild, but your thoughts on all of this.
Guess I'll start what we started with the father. Yeah, I understand completely. I agree with what you said. So if I had a son or kid that was killed by the police, it would be the same reaction, if not worse. But and he had the whole eye for eye, but priests doing some crazy stuff, so they not supposed to do that. So we not gonna put religion into this. So yeah, forget that eye for eye stuff. This is just human nature at this point, which is what reality is. Just nature. We just make up rules. There's no real rules other than the rules of nature. So yeah, take one of mine, take a few of yours. Because you can't have, trust the system, trust justice. There is no justice here. There never has been. This whole thing is flawed. Like, not even just with the boys in blue. Just rich people, or if you know someone, you might even have to be. If you just know judges or whoever, got connections, you can damn near be untouchable and not be held accountable. And then that person that you did wrong or family that you did wrong sees no justice. So yeah, justice can be purchased. Well, not justice can be purchased. Asylum can be purchased. Oh yeah, shout out to Jay, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, and then with the Luigi's thing, this is all allegedly because none of them are convicted, fully convicted yet. So Luigi is still allegedly, but we gonna say he did, just put that, or use an actual example because he's the face of it for now until that due process is done. But yeah, Luigi versus this brother, I think they're both necessary if you want real change. And I disagree with you about the king shot. Yes, he's a rich CEO, but not to go down the rabbit hole. They're not the top. They're not the kings. The kings are truly untouchable because most of us don't even know who they are outside their family name. Because like I said, most corporations and companies are run by one big company. And those are the kings. And we will never touch them. So yeah, I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole which what because all the major companies you think is the major company is still like a smaller company to the big company. I think it's called Pride Rock or Black Rock or whatever, who owns literally everything.
Oh, you talking about? Okay, I
So
got
that's
you.
why I said, like, yes, he's a king to us, but realistically, in that ladder, he's still a pawn, just a rich one. Or you can, or maybe you want to say a pawn. He's a, I don't know, a knight. There you go. He's a knight. If we're doing the chess terms, he's a knight. But yeah, the true kings we won't ever touch. At least not anytime soon, unless people, get woke. The real woke, not this BS that they took over and whitewashed. But yeah, um, so yeah, I mean they're both important to get stuff to change or momentum in that direction, not just one. Because you can do one, and as we saw, they replaced him the next day. And then also, damn near as a retaliation, tried to punish the people.
But
If it wasn't for the
see,
backlash for that, they would have got away with it. So yeah, that's why I said, hey, those are pawns too. They're just highly rich ones, but those are pawns too. You cut one head off, two more will grow back, and we saw it.
see, and that, to me, you almost give credence to my thought process of Luigi allegedly doing what he might have done is more impactful because I forgot about it till you mentioned it. You're right. Kind of got stuck on a certain level. When you start talking about the architects of all this without getting super, super deep, now we're starting to talk uh World Bank, IMF, things like that. And like you said, BlackRock. Now we're talking the the realm behind the curtain, you
Mhm.
know.
Those are the kings that need to die
Yeah.
if in GTA. But yeah, I don't want no minors, don't want this to get canceled.
Yeah, right. No, no.
Video
The
games,
situation
video
is
games.
if they were somehow affected, if we start affecting people, IMF, World Bank, things like that,
That's when you make a big.
that is affecting change on a global scale. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure how you do that. It ain't.
It will be a group effort because even with
I
them
don't.
controlling everything, literally everything. That's not even metaphor. Literally everything. They're still outnumbered. And this goes back to our other conversation we had. Is like, why are we so content with being ruled? That in our DNA, because it seems like it.
No,
That's all.
I think overall, I don't think it's contentment with being ruled. I think it's a matter. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. I just think it's a matter of the most people feel for the con. The con being capitalism and hard work pays off. And there's a problem with that.
How my issue with that is how do you fall for that when statistically none of that is true?
That's not true.
This is the information age. Yes, dog, you have a better chance of getting probably hit by a bus than you do becoming a millionaire.
You just got to work harder.
That's so everyone that dies from hunger, poor, all that stuff, they don't work hard.
No, no. See, you're looking at it from that standpoint. When you look at this from the G20 nations, from the standpoint of the G20 nations, right? Those are the ones who fell for the con the hardest. The belief that you just got to work harder, you just got to be smarter, you just have to be innovative.
It's not
That
true.
is the con.
It's not
And
true.
enough people buy the con and don't understand that the scheme itself shouldn't exist. So sadly, the people who can most upset the apple cart are the ones who fall for the con.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I said you just want to be ruled. Because this is the information age. This is the time now that you can literally see everything that's happened in history and now. If you really
Mhm.
really willing to look for it. And you should like there is more people seeing that this shit is a con, but it's nowhere near enough, and there's still a minority. So it's like the people that really fall for the con, I want y'all to look in the mirror and be like, okay, you're not a millionaire right now. Probably won't be in the next 10 years. Probably won't be for the rest of your life. So what are we really working hard for?
To be comfortable.
Uh, there's the economy
To
now.
be,
See,
to
I
be
mean, yeah, and
comfortable.
then there's the other issue. We're in another recession. It's probably going to get worse. So how many people are comfortable? Was it the numbers on that ain't even good in your favor? So because the cost that it takes to be comfortable, especially depending on the state you live, is a lot higher than it used to be.
Well, let me toss you out some numbers. The median income in the U.S. is, I do believe, when I checked a couple months ago, it was about, it was a give or take, I think it was 43 or 44,000.
That's
It's
not
median
a
income
poverty
in the
line.
country,
That's the
right?
poverty line.
If you have a job making, if you have a job making, just hypothetically speaking, if you have a job making 80 grand, you're almost double the median income by yourself. That's not counting if you have a partner. So even if you make 45 and your partner makes 45, if the median household income is 45, you're double the median income.
That's for the median income of the country, but we all know that there's the con. All states have different costs of living to be comfortable. And
Well,
I'm sorry, 43,000 is not enough to be comfortable. And then
by yourself, you're
one, there's a
correct.
lot of people alone, and two, even with two people, the number to be comfortable, I forgot what the number was, to be completely out of the poverty line is more than over 100,000. So, especially depending on where you at. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Because
a
I can
lot
tell you,
too.
I can tell you right now where I'm from. Look, if I'm in Buffalo, New York, and I make 45, my wife makes 45, we bowling. That's true. You can literally buy houses in Buffalo for 100 grand, less than 100 grand. If you, so I'm like, like you said, it depends where you're sitting. Now, if you're in the world's greatest city, no, if I make 45, you make 45, we still probably need a roommate.
That's
If I'm
why I
in
said there's
LA,
the con. It depends where you at. And then even the wages don't even match that number.
right.
So there's so even let's say if 45, 80 is the number for you to be comfortable. Most wages don't match that. So are we still falling for this shit?
How much? I mean, but like I said, that's the beauty of the con. And it's like the other built-in beauty of the con is we perpetuate it. Like, think about it. I cannot tell you how many conversations I've had with people who blame the homeless for being homeless. Oh, they want to be that way. That must be their fault. Like, I bullshit you not. These are conversations I've actually heard people have out loud.
I've seen it too. Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
yes, a person wants to be homeless. All like yeah, they want all that misery that comes with it. Yeah, they just want that. They ask for that.
like, dog, let me help. As someone that has been fortunate enough to sleep in a bed my entire life, there is nothing about the underside of a bridge that looks attractive. Nothing. There is nothing about standing on a corner with a sign that looks attractive. So it lets me know where people's heads are at when they say, oh, they want to be homeless, they want to be out here. Because it's either coming from this weird ass American place of privilege where you really believe people are homeless because they made some grand intentional mistake in their life. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Are there addicts? Are there people on the streets because of some misfortune? Yes. But anyone with sense knows a good chunk of our unsheltered neighbors suffer from mental illness.
And well, damn near probably all of them do. Because even the addicts and the people that made bad decisions, probably something happened in their past and they probably weren't coming from riches to begin with, led to that path. Like I said, everyone has their own story, everything's different. So
Huh?
we never know. That's why you can't judge a book by its cover because you never know what they went through. And most probably majority of you can't even survive what they went through. So stop with that high horse shit. So yeah, The world lacks empathy, and we just got replaced it with apathy. Shout out to Killer Mike, because there's no way that we are still falling for this con. And I understand this system is diabolically genius, and then we're the smartest, dumbasses creatures on the planet. I get it. We're a walking oxymoron. I get it. But damn, can we stop being that? Is that too much to ask?
Um,
I know it is, but damn. That's why Thanos is right, man.
okay. So, all right. So there's something else I can put to bed. Because I was gonna say I don't really want to hear anything from a country whose highest percentage of homeless are women and children. That is not accurate, thankfully. Apparently 70% of the homeless are men. Okay. That would also explain why a good chunk of mental illness is in the homeless population as well. But yeah, it's just a weird thing, man. And having conversations with people let you know where they stand. Again, another way in which the con has worked. And I see this most amongst the former poor, air quotes. So there is nobody that I've seen. This is just my personal experience. I can't say this quantifiably, and you can tell me what you see on your side. There is nobody sucking on the Republican teat and ideals harder than the person that came from the hood and is no longer hood. You can't shut them up about how, hey, I used to be poor. I went to bed hungry many nights and I made it. And it's like, it's this weird warped thinking of, well, I made it out the hood. Why can't you? I worked hard. I put in all the work and effort, and I got a great paying job. Blah, blah, blah. And they never seem to realize they're the exception, not the rule.
It's like, bro, you are an anomaly. Like you, pretty much, you're lucky.
Nope,
Statistically,
nope. I worked hard. I worked hard. So can you.
but
It's just
statistically, that's not true. Like, like it's just like the millionaire and the billionaire thing we talk about. Statistically, yeah, there's going to be some that make it to get to that. Yes,
mm,
but you know how low of a percentage that is.
no, no,
So
nope.
yeah, you got fucking luck. You did. I'm not saying you didn't work hard. Sure, but the luck part played a huge part in that too.
You know, hey, Diddy can't stop, won't stop, right?
Yeah, he didn't in Alabama, but yeah, this
Oh, 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 and not to go far off track here, but just gotta touch on it.
oh boy.
Y'all losers. Like y'all are some
Are you
fucking
talking about
losers.
Tory?
No, no, I
Oh,
mean Tori getting shamed. That was, but oh, okay. So two things. I'm gonna touch that one because I can't help but laugh. No, the
damn.
in the wake of the Diddy thing, it's just been a lot more of the ass hat surfacing about Cassie and why didn't she leave and all y'all losers.
Y'all not know what it's like to be with an abuser, especially that powerful?
No, no.
Like, literally off this ex-wife, probably, allegedly, and other people, allegedly. So yeah, like it's not just, even just regular abuse is hard to use because I guess you don't understand the art of
The,
manipulation
psy-
and
the,
pure like yeah, that's how. Yeah, I understand because some people from the service say, "Oh, well, if they're abusing you, then why don't you leave?" It's never that simple because it's
Never.
never just physical; it's all mental.
Exactly. I can tell these. That's I'm like,
Yeah,
if you out here, you're Cassie, you're trying to get some bread. How come it took her 11 years to leave? Da-da-da. Y'all,
yeah. That
y'all losers.
study
Y'all,
psychology,
y'all
people.
losers.
I kind of wish that psychology was a mandatory thing. That is the one thing I actually loved in school, and I still keep up with. I don't take
Mm,
classes anything anymore, but I did take a college course in high school for that psychology. But I do
mm.
watch videos and all that stuff, and all that, read some books about it. But yeah, if you look at psychology, you will understand that the abuse ain't physical. It's really all mental.
It really is.
It's all mental. That's why they can't leave.
Right. And I'm like, this is just y'all just a special kind of stupid. If you really think that Cassie stuck around to get a paycheck, listen, I can make you this really cool cocktail with a combination of bleach and ammonia. Totally on the house. I'll put as many olives as you like in it. I'll put as many olives as you like. Bleach and ammonia, as many olives as you like to help with the taste. Have a sip. Go right there. Have a sip. If you think Cassie should have left earlier, she just did it for a check. Damn, I got a new cocktail. Bleach and ammonia, few olives. Drink up.
Or
Drink
the Jim Jones special Kool-Aid. Either one.
up. Because next to these idiots are the same idiots. Now you just touched on it. Good point. So the other Canadian cannoli, Tory Lanez, apparently got poked a little bit in prison.
A lot. 12 times. That's not funny because he was on life support, but geez.
And by poked, I do not mean, between cheeks. I mean with a blunt instrument or a sharp instrument, as the case may be.
It is prison. But yeah.
So yeah. It wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. So yeah. I- Overall,
That's sad.
just overall, it sucks to be Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
You go from a viable music career to a 10-year bid, and you've got to be asking yourself, how the hell did that happen? How do you go, and it is just a how-to of everything wrong with certain versions of black male masculinity. You at a party, you got a chick, you trying to possibly holler at another chick, you got the blicky on you. It's it is the how-to manual of how to get yourself in an effed up situation. 10, it just hit 10 years, dog. You
Cali.
sitting on top 10 years?
That's Cali.
I just from that point, and this is not me shooting him bail, figuratively or literally, about what happened. This is how salute to him for not unaliving himself. Because I can't imagine going from pop star status, hottest chick in the game, wearing your chain, for lack of a better term, and now you got a 10-year bid. And your pop's out here screaming setup. I just, and you doing raps on the jail phone. Just from where I'm sitting, it is just such a tragic thing, man. It is a tragic thing. And again, to go from where you were to now getting shanked up in prison with a collapsed lung. Where you find the strength to go on, I don't know. I don't know. I will go on record and say that might be a bit much for me to handle. That might be a bit much for me to handle. So, like,
This situation could have been avoided.
oh,
Getting into the whole Megan and all that stuff because he got charged with the gun.
uh-huh.
State of California charged, not Megan. State of
Right.
California said we saw you were possessing a gun, whether it get shot or not. You should not be having that gun here. The
Yeah.
the last two places you want to be caught with a gun is New York and Cali.
And let us not forget, for all of the incels and ashy Negroes who still want to point a finger at Megan, she initially tried to protect his ass.
They did, but that gets forgotten. But because hate on black women shit. But but yeah, like I said, Plaxico can shoot himself and get numbers. Just dope. Like especially you got money for security, which I'm sure you had. There's no reason for you to have a gun.
None, none,
None.
none.
I gave you just a regular dude and you moving, all right, fine. But you got security. You are who you are. You will say that.
Right.
So the people that should be having the gun should be them. So if they get pinched, that's on them. But you got secure. There should be no need for you to have one, dog. Especially not in those two states. If you want to carry one in other states and you in the South, cool. They probably throw you a parade. But those two states, they do not play. They have a zero tolerance for that shit. I've seen it. No people personally got locked up for that. So yeah, no. No, no, no. Those are the last two states you want to get caught with that.
It's just wild. Like you got, like you said, the biggest thing here is this could have been avoided.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna go on my usual rant, but this is where we should, if we're smart, this is where we need to start asking serious questions about hip hop. And I hope the day comes, because I've actually had this conversation with a couple folks online, so on and so forth. I really hope the day comes black men love and defend black women like they fucking do hip hop. Me even suggesting hip hop overall, the overall effects have been a net negative. Bruh, I cannot tell you the amount of vitriol, the amount of what you talking about, the amount of brothers who want to go back and forth with me on this and point out the 5 or 6 artists that make such a fucking difference. And I'm like, give me the net gain. Don't give me Talib and Mos Def and 6 other artists. The net gain in 50 years of quote unquote hip hop and rap music. Is there a net gain? And the answer, if we're gonna be honest, is a resounding no. But go off. Y'all can name me the 10 rappers that make it all worth it. Stop. Because if not for I could make a serious case. If not for the hip hop attitude, the attitudes that persist in hip hop, Tory would be free right now. On so many levels, this would have never happened. If you didn't have your own blicky, this wouldn't have happened. If you wasn't on some machismo shit, this wouldn't happen. But
Just him.
what'd you say?
I don't think that's a hip hop's fault. He got cold.
Oh,
I think
come
that's
on now.
him.
Come on now. Let's have an honest conversation. Come on now.
You know when people get caught with blickies that got nothing to do with hip hop?
You know how many people in hip hop got blickies that should did you or did you not just say you could have had security?
No, that's a common sense thing. That ain't even the hip hop. Like Patrick Burns is not even hip. He's not a rapper. He's not pop. He was an NFL player. He could have had security too. Shot himself. That had nothing to do with hip hop. That's just him cheddar bobbing himself. That got nothing to do with nothing. Like, that's just the common sense factor. Like I'm sorry. I understand hip hop has flaws and a lot of negative. I agree, and then it has some great. I agree. We already had this conversation millions of times.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is common sense. Like I'm sorry, you have money. You want to protect that money or whatever yourself. Have security. NFL player, sports player, rapper, actor, whatever. Just buy security or go to a state where you can carry. Go to the east. Go to Texas where she's from. They will throw you a parade. You wouldn't have got charged with nothing, probably. So yeah. Like y'all gotta know the laws of each state, man.
I mean, you know,
That's just common sense. I'm sorry, I ain't got nothing to do with hip hop. That's just, doo-doo brain, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I hear you, but beyond the black thought principle, the black thought exception rule, which we often talk about, like, look, how much more shit do you need to see happen to others before you figure out, hey, maybe I need to do something a little different?
Not gonna happen.
Maybe this tough guy image and this tough guy nonsense ain't worth it.
Not gonna happen to me.
You,
That's
you got Drake, you got Aubrey running around here acting like a tough guy, and you saw what I got him.
not a tough guy. We all know that's
Right,
not.
right. We don't like Drake when he act tough. We like Drake with the melodies. All Drake had to do was stick with the melodies, and he did never got pretty much murked the way he got murked for the last 18 months now. Like we he wouldn't have got murked, but hip hop, tough guy. It's just competitive by nature. All right, we all keep
That's
being
sport. I mean,
competitive.
that's battle rap. I'm not blaming Drake. Like before he did the Karen shit with the lawsuits, I had some type of respect. Very little, but some type of respect because he battled. It's a battle. Cool. That is
I
part of
guess,
hip hop. But the tough guy shit ain't about him battling. The tough guy shit is him literally trying to act tough. That's the
but
tough guy.
that's what all these rap and see. That's what my and this is where and not you specifically, but this is where I started having problems when we started having a conversation about hip hop. No one wants to have an honest freaking conversation. Let us not pretend that hyper masculinity and machismo do not ooze all through hip hop.
They do. I'm not
So
disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying for this specifically specific instance with Tory and Plax. Sorry, Plax. I didn't mean you catch a straight because you did to yourself, literally. But I I'm that no more Plax. I'm sorry, Plax. You were shout out to you, giant list. But back to what I was saying, yeah. I'm just saying it was a common sense that could have been avoided. I don't even know if it's a tough guy act or not. Maybe it is, but just
it
higher
is.
security.
But then if we want to further go with tough guy goofiness, you on probation doing goofy tough guy shit. Like what did you think was gonna happen? And it's just this is the base. Unfortunately, this is the baseline for hip hop. That's just further proof why this is an epic fail. Not only do you show no remorse, no chill whatsoever, you out here doing goofy shit, Tory. So and you're not a U.S. citizen.
Okay, Drew.
Again, it's the reason why, if we're being completely honest, outside of the gym where I can use the aggression and channel it, I really don't listen to but so much hip hop anymore. It's not representative of black excellence. It's not. And before, at least you could say, at least like take a Jadakiss. From a content perspective, man, but at least it's cleverly designed. At least the wordplay and your skill involved.
Oh
We
my
can't even
God.
say we can't
No,
even do that now. We can't
no,
even say that now.
no, don't do that. Don't do that. If
Don't
you
do what? Don't
condemn
do
it,
what?
if you want to condemn it. Not because I don't condemn a killer because he doing it sloppy or because he's doing it great and surgically. Condemn the killing. He's like, oh, he's surging with it. He cut off this, that, and left this, that, versus the dude that just started spraying everywhere. Like, come on. If he's a killer, he a killer. Don't be giving him props because he's a smooth operator. Like, come on. You're academic because the subject is the same. He just does it well. The Pusha T effect. He ain't never changed. He still ain't gonna change. So yeah.
No, because Jada got some joints in there that's relatively quote unquote positive. They're
Well, it's Pusha
Pusha T's
T.
entire catalog is moving bricks.
I mean,
So,
it's some clever lines about some positivity in there, and then it goes right back to the core. But yeah, I
but
mean, yeah.
I just I think we've had, and I'm gonna get off of this because we talked about it, but I just think we've got it wrong. I think like I said, in a nutshell, I look for the day that black men are as defensive and upstanding about black women as they are this joke that we now have called hip hop, which is 50 years old and stopped aging somewhere around 25. Like somewhere around 25. And that's the honesty of it. And again, I've had this numerous ways up and down. And the most tragic piece of it is it's the same result. It is black men telling me how wrong I am and pointing out the 5 or 6 exceptions. It made millionaires out of 50 and Jay and blah blah blah. And yeah, but it's a horrible overall. At 50 years in, we'd expect more, and it's just not there. And seeing black men stand up for it and just ignoring the detriment it's caused to black women, the detriment it's caused to the future generations, because it hasn't evolved. Like it hasn't evolved. Like the NBA at least has evolved. We went from dudes in the 80s with 20-inch verticals and X amount of skill. As Anthony Edwards said, the only person with skill in that time was probably Jordan.
That's a lie,
Right?
but so we not no stop.
What?
Stay away from the
What?
NBA takes. Just go keep the hip hop.
I didn't make the take, and Ant-Man
And
did.
yeah,
And
he's still stupid, and we know how his IQ is when it comes to what. He's shooting the
See.
wrong stuff, bro. Keep shooting that jump shot, bro. Like just stop, just stop. Just stop. I love you, Ed. You're a great player, but when you start talking, the Atlanta comes out, boy. Not the good side. Not the the 3 stack side. No, I ain't gonna throw shades at Atlanta Raps. Go ahead.
Oh, you done did it now. Go
No,
ahead. You done did it now.
nope.
You done did it now.
That was dumb, man. That was dumb. If you want to say Jordan was the best of that era, fine. Sure, I guess. But he was the only skilled one that stop. Just stop.
I don't know if he said only or most. I think it was only though, but I don't know if he said only or most.
If he said most, I would still say no. Not at that time. 90s
I
Jordan,
mean,
yeah. But 80s
honestly,
Jordan kind of relied on just pure. He basically what Ant is when he was younger. I mean, he's more skilled now. He got better handle and shoots the 3 ball better. But when Ant came in, he was basically what young Jordan was. Pure athleticism. Jordan didn't have a J.
really, we're
Play
doing that.
defense. He can play defense. That is a skill. I agree with that. He was a 2-way player, but he didn't have the post move, the J, the mid. Like he didn't have that to the 90s.
Arguable, okay. But where I was going here was 80s, early 90s NBA was one thing, but what we're witnessing is evolution. And I get viewership and all of those numbers are down, but from a skill level, and you and I have talked about this, from a skill level, them 80s dudes wouldn't survive today. Charles Oakley wouldn't get 5 minutes in a game today. And so it's weird hearing him talk all this noise about the today's NBA. You'd what? You'd foul everybody if you could actually touch them.
It's
Your
different.
slow big ass wouldn't be able to do nothing. Like you. As much as those old heads want to talk about, I couldn't play back in the day. What you mean? I couldn't. What I couldn't take a foul. I couldn't take in clothes on.
It's not just. That's why I do hate the NBA discord from both sides, old heads and the new generation. The thing that people seem to always leave out that plays a major part in different eras is why we shouldn't compare eras. Because the rule changes and the style of play is different. This I'm not gonna say this new generation is soft, but it is the easiest to play because everyone can shoot, which is a skill thing, but they encourage you to, unlike back then. And the rules are more heavily toward offense and everyone's more spread out. It's not congested. Versus back then, the defense is more gritty, yeah, it's a little bit more physical to hand checking, but you forced to take tougher shots. Like in the playoffs now, they kind of playing like how they played back in the day in 2000s. And I don't know if you've been noticing, if you look at all the superstars outside of damn near Giannis, all of them are struggling. And they're basically playing 2000s balls damn near. So the
I mean,
audience don't look so stupid anymore because it's like, yeah, if Jokic played back then, he wouldn't be dominant. I mean, the way he playing now, I'm not saying he couldn't. I think he could. I think that's still stupid. But I'm just saying it's a lot easier when you got the space and no one can really touch you like that. And you know what I'm saying? You playing more free. But now it's more congested. They locked in on your ass and they letting you play no more now. You don't look so superhuman anymore.
I'll put it to you like this, and I firmly believe it. I'm not going to go into the whole thing.
Just
The
saying.
list, the superstars today that could play then is way the hell longer than the list of people then that could play now. A lot of people we revered back then would get no burn right now. None.
Who?
Like it's funny seeing Charles Oakley. That's one.
I'm that's a
Just for example.
role player. I mean, like super. When we talk about eras, we talk about basically superstars. Because no one
Okay.
cares about a role player playing that because they're role playing. So superstars from back then can play in this era and can still cook. Superstars from now can play back then and still do what they do. It will just be different. This is why we shouldn't fucking compare eras.
All right.
If you're all
Where I
time
was
great, you can
all
play
right.
any
So
era.
we took a detour, but where I was going was the NBA from let's just say when the ball fraud was drafted in '84 to now is a completely different game. The level of skill it takes. Like I said, back in the '80s, early '90s, you could go to the Y, you go to the Rucker, be like, yo, damn, this cat might be to make it in the league. Not today. The level of skill and athleticism it takes to get to the league today. No, you got to be up here, up here. And I say that to say the NBA has the
Nah,
with the exception of Joker, the cream of the crop in the NBA is highly skilled and highly athletic.
Luka, Jokic, Cade is not crazy athletic. There's a hope Shea's not crazy athletic. I mean, we can go on.
Okay. But where the point I'm trying to make and slowly getting there is the NBA has evolved and gotten better. Um, Hip hop, rap music in particular, 19, what we said, 50 years. So we're saying 1975-ish, stunted its growth somewhere around 98, 99, which means there's a literal generation of shit we didn't already heard before. Not gonna call it trash because if it's trash now, it should have been trash then. But it's all recycled shit we ever heard before. I think one of the saddest things about hip hop, rap music is if I turn you on a video from 93, 94, and I turn you on a video from right now and just turn the sound down, no growth. It's still it's actually to a certain degree worse because it was certain, but before YouTube and things like that, there's certain shit you couldn't put in the video. Now with the ability to pretty much bypass everything, you can make whatever video you want. It's so stagnant, so non-creative for the most part. Like I can't tell you the last time I've seen a video. I was like, yo, just from a video quality standpoint, yo, that was dope conceptually.
Only a few people
It's
that do that. I mean, it was only a few people that did that back then. That hasn't changed.
yes and no because I can name you right off top 5 or 10 rap videos that were revolutionary. That were like, oh shit. Busta Rhymes videos were an event. What's it gonna be? Put your hands where my eyes can see. Hey, man, the videos were crazy. Now it's just all dudes with gold chains and chicks with asses.
But I can make, like I said, you look at a Kendrick video or Jordan Lucas video, like there's people,
Mm-hmm.
Black Dog
Mm-hmm.
video, like there's people that have some great J. Cole video, like hell, even Eminem is still creative.
Right.
But so
But
yeah,
creativity is no longer requisite. As long as you can get it on YouTube and upload YouTube, nobody cares. Like the creativity piece, like I said, my issue is somewhere around, I won't say 94, 95. I'll say about 98, 99. Oh, what a coinky dink. Taking over for the 99, the South. Anywho, um, somewhere around 99, it just stopped being innovative and creative, and it just the repeat of bullshit with a Southern accent. So yeah, yeah.
annual shit on the South. Uh,
I
I,
I mean, hey, I get it. Some of y'all actually like Migos. Oh, I'm so sorry. Some of y'all actually believe Soldier Boy when he talks about being a good rapper.
he did it
Like
first.
between Atlanta and Memphis, y'all ain't better than half of Brooklyn. But anywho. Your entire nerve center is Atlanta and Memphis. And the fact that there's actually debate about who's better, that's like, wow, which turd stinks the most? But anywho, um,
Couldn't help yourself.
oh, that's totally okay because the problem is between both of those ass cities, rap wise. Now I'm going to do my own one for a second. The list of rappers that I'm not better than is probably about, yeah, you can count on both hands. Yeah, I said it. But anywho, point I'm making here is
But a
it,
whole lot
it's
of districts. Good.
it's arrested development. Somewhere around 98, 99, it stopped being innovative. And you fast forward to today and you see the attitudes and the carry on and emanate from this thing called hip hop and rap music. And it's like, grow up. Like just grow up. And Tory is doing a 10-year bid because you couldn't grow the fuck up. Because carrying your own blicky and being the man was way more smart, way more important than, oh, I'm an actual borderline superstar. I can just have armed security with me. But instead, just on every possible level, fail, fail, fail. And now you laying in a hospital bed in the midst of a 10-year bid. Again, I will salute his mental fortitude because I think I'd come undone. I just when you look at here and then where you at, I think I'd come undone. There's no way. And it's like, and the problem is for what? Because I got a rule about you don't get to cry over self-inflicted wounds. Like dog, she actually tried to cover for you. This was all avoidable, but here we are.
That's it. I don't know. Hey, one thing about me, I do have some envy. I have zero envy for people that been in a situation could have been avoided, and this was one of them. So I don't really feel bad for you. Respectfully, it
Right.
sucks, but this could have been avoided.
Totally,
Out of security. That's all you had to do.
totally, totally, totally. So we're gonna move on to another interesting topic here. This is kind of wild, and I'm just checking the facts on this one because we are again presented. Wow, very interesting. So Virginia actually is an open carry state. Um, that's important to know. I also just want to know this other little detail. That's Virginia. Virginia does have what's called a no duty to retreat, which is their version of stand your ground law, just not named the same. This means in Virginia, just to put this in perspective, in Virginia, a person confronted with an aggressor does not need to retreat before using force, including deadly force, to defend themselves. So let's rewind time a little bit, shall we? A few weeks ago, we were all here talking about Carmelo Anthony in Texas, standing ground law. We're going to go to Spotsylvania, Virginia. Now, I want you to understand, Virginia is an open carry state. Virginia does actually have a standing ground law. I want you to just, regardless of color, whatever, I want you to imagine you were asleep as an adult in your home. It is 3 in the morning, and apparently someone's trying to kick your door in. You apparently have a blicky. What's your first response?
The same thing.
So, and for the record, same thing that he's referring to is Spotsylvania County, 18-year-old was shot and killed by a homeowner. And these were teens. There were 3 people kicking in his door at 3 a.m. Tyler Butler, he is 27. He has been charged with second-degree murder, malicious wounding, and using a firearm in the commission of a felony. Dog, let me help. It's 3 in the morning, and it appears mofo is trying to kick my door in. I have a blicky. The right thing to do in this situation, apparently, is call the law. Mr. Butler did not do that. He got that thing and let loose. Dead teenager.
Hmm.
Of the remaining alive teenagers, they admitted this was a TikTok prank.
Ah.
So, for the record, Tyler is black. The three teens are white. This is Virginia. I am trying to figure out, and ironically, just like the Carmelo Anthony case, where maybe there's some details missing here. It has to be because if Virginia has standing ground laws, is also an open carry state. You got folks kicking in your door at 3 in the morning. I don't think I didn't touch was castle doctrine. I am trying to figure out how you get arrested for using the blicky. And as far as you know, it's mofos kicking in your door.
I'm gonna say, how did he shoot? Did he just shoot from behind the closed door at him? Did he open the door and chase him and shoot? What did he do? Because if he opened the door and chased him and shot, then I can see where the problem comes. But if the kick in the door, I just shot from outside and you got hit and died, I shouldn't be charged with. Well, he shouldn't be charged with anything.
Oh, wait, just another fun detail. One of the neighbors has this on tape. Can see the three teens coming up to the house not long before the shooting. The video show the teens banging, kicking, and slamming on the neighbor's garage door. Not just ring the doorbell. So when just ring the doorbell. How
Said I need to know the details on how he shot. But either way, once again, this could have been avoided. Every TikTok trend should not be done, especially in the middle of the night. Everybody's not playing with you. Everybody's not in the mood to play. So we shouldn't play these games. Or you might get a bullet in your ass. There you go. It's that
and
simple.
because of the nature of the crime, he's being held without bail. But this seems completely unfair. His next court date isn't until June 18th. How is it there was videotape of these young men beating and banging on the doors? How is Virginia an open carry state? How is Virginia an open, not just an open carry state, but a stand your ground state? So that means the gun is legal, unless the gun was legal, but I'm not getting that. And they were banging on his door, showing that they're a potential threat. It's 3 in the morning. It's 3 in the morning. I, I, I don't. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't know why he's locked up still. You can again. You cannot convince me. And this ironically has nothing to do with the ass hat and chief. There's nothing to do with Pennsylvania Avenue. Make this make sense. So now we got to go back, and I'm sorry I forgot the sister's name that was here, that was shot by officers. How much more do we need to see that black people ain't even safe in their own goddamn house? It's 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. People kicking and banging on my door. I retaliate in kind and I get no bail
You know
in
why.
my house.
The law does not apply to us. Because the gentleman that's being charged that killed the boy is black, right?
Yes.
There you go. You know the answer to this already. Now, we all know stand your ground don't apply to us. It rarely ever has.
I don't like to, of all things, broken clock quote Dr. Umar, but he had a video about Carmelo Anthony, and he made a point that I hadn't considered. He said, "Stand your ground was never meant to be used by black people.
Yeah.
It was always used to be. It was always intended to be used against. Stand your ground was never intended to be used for black people's benefit."
We solved many examples of this already. So yeah. You know the
So,
reason why. You just don't like it, which is fair and truthful. But that's why. And he killed white boys. So that's another piece on top of that.
which leads to the question: so, are you inferring, sir, if it was three black thugs kicking the door, he wouldn't be in jail, huh?
No. Or at least a bail. So yeah, no, I don't. Because could I could have swore we talked about a situation like that. Didn't an old lady or someone boom on somebody? I don't remember what happened with that. If she did
Oh
get
no, 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 no. That was now. See, this is different. That was a young black male. I know exactly what you're talking about. I was thinking about that case too.
he was knocking on the door,
Completely
right?
different. He rung the doorbell because he was at the wrong house.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
was just at the wrong house. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw something that said that that older gentleman might have died.
yeah. In jail?
I have to go back and check. I think that older gentleman might have died. But no, that was a completely different thing. That was somebody who thought they were at a different house and run the doorbell. And his answer was blocka, blocka, blocka.
But
This dog, if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I hear like this motherfucker's kicking my door, kicking the door, waving the four, bruh, I'm not calling the law. I'm not calling the law. I'm calling the coroner. Like, yeah, we go in the corner because we open it up. I'm grabbing a blicky and opening it up.
yeah,
Now, for reasons such as this, see, this is why it's just that I live obviously in the most open of open carry states. I'm in Texas. And I've always said, my arsenal is just for home defense. I've literally said, look, you try to come break it in here, I got something for you. Well, this is literally what the hell just happened. And this brother's held on no bail. How were you held on no bail when they came kicking in your door
that's
and it's on fucking tape?
this is a prank. You took it too far. And you black. You don't do that. You take the prank as a
So
joke. And if you're in danger,
not
oh well.
so that equal protection under the law thing still don't apply.
Yeah. I don't know why y'all
And
thought that changed.
because it's legally on the damn books.
Yeah, when we're barely legally people. so, so yeah. Like, I don't know why everyone thinks we live in pretend land, like everything is changing, everything is la la. It is not. There are certain laws that still apply, certain mentalities that still apply. And I don't even
Really?
know how many more examples you need to realize that ain't really changed. But go ahead. I'm just,
I, I'm just I'm my flabbers are gasted. Because I'm all bullshit aside, like what are we doing here? You
welcome to Virginia.
What am I missing? Like, did he? Unless he literally and I'm hard pressed to believe that this would be the case because this would shut everything up. Unless he warned them, they ran. He opened the door and he blasted them in the back.
Yeah, that's what I said. Unless, like I said, unless he went after them and kept shooting, or they were running away and he kept shooting, then yeah, then you got him because that's not self-defense anymore. You are the aggressor. But if you let off a few shots and then they ran, you stopped. That's not on
And
me. Ain't
oh
nobody
boy,
tell you
just
to
caught
come to
a
my house and do that stuff. That's all you.
TikTok. Y'all.
Ah,
Hey,
love
and look,
TikTok.
let's go ahead and make the conversation uncomfortable.
Special type of stew.
Um, let's make the conversation uncomfortable. And y'all want to be folks might get mad at me, but oh well. Listen, the amount of privilege, and we gonna call it what it is, white privilege. Well, how's it white privilege? It's young people doing goofy stuff. No, 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 no. There is no universe, no multiverse that I would tell the young man that I am doing this show with that this is a good idea. There is no version in the multiverse that I would tell the young man I'm doing this show with, yo, yeah, it's cool, you're just being a kid. The level of white privilege it takes to sit in your conjure up in your rabbit ass mind at 3 a.m. Yo, let's go ding dong dish. They go, what? What?
That's more extreme. See, you just ring the ding dong, you knock on the door and run away. See, kicking all that extra see, that ain't something that was done. Because that looks like a attempt, like you trying to get in here versus just a ding dong dish. You just ringing the doorbell, just knocking on the door and then running.
You see, now I got questions. Did y'all you typically don't drive or go real far to ding dong ditch. You typically do that shit around where you at. So now I got questions. Did y'all know a brother lived there? Just curious. Did y'all know a brother lived there? Out of every possible house, is that the only one y'all got?
I know one thing. One of y'all didn't leave there.
Facts. And that's tragic because it was avoidable. This we're still waiting on details about the Carmelo thing. I don't know if that was avoidable.
Yeah,
This was totally avoidable.
yeah, it is.
Fam, this 3 a.m. Just put your damn headset on and play Call of Duty. You had many options that you could have been doing, many things you could have been doing.
Yeah.
Besides kicking on somebody's door.
At 3 in the morning.
When I had sleepovers with my homies at 3 in the morning, we were sitting there playing video games, eating pizza, cracking bad jokes. It never occurred to us at 3 a.m. Yo, let's go ding dong dish. The level of WTF is astronomical.
Not at 3 in the morning. Usually people do that and it's still daylight.
Right.
You don't do that in the middle of the night.
And with the advent of Ring camera, let's be real, Ring camera just took the fun out of it.
Oh yeah, then I know who you are. So yeah, it's cooked. Man.
Everybody got a Ring camera. Don't get you nothing.
It's cooked. You might, yeah. That's why
like,
probably people don't even do that anymore.
Well, unless you're gonna do the extra mile and put on all black and put on the Pooh Shiesty mask, as we just call a regular ski mask. But hey, if you ain't gonna go the extra mile and put on the Pooh Shiesty, you're really pretty much caught.
And if you do that, you're gonna look even worse and get boomed on. Yeah. It's certain trends that just need to stay back to when we were kids, man.
Pretty much.
You can't get away with it now. Now you did. You woke up dead. Why you do that? Why? So yeah.
And I'm just like, dog. Out of all of the reasons that you end up dead, and I'm not celebrating this at all. I'm just looking at the amount of goofy and the amount of mixed with the amount of white privilege. Because again, as young black men, we it's just certain things we know not to do because it's not gonna end well. You see 3 black teens just walking the street at 3 a.m., you got a chance of getting pulled over. Like, yeah, if like I don't trust you going to 7-Eleven at 3 in the morning. Trayvon, I don't trust you going too many places past 9 p.m. Right? Past 9 p.m. I don't trust. So the level of, like, now I got to ask questions. Were y'all hot? This ain't the usual thing that the press does and y'all trying to find drug use. No, I'm just curious. At 3 in the morning, this was your idea. In 2025, with access to so much technology, like 900 channels on cable, Netflix, streaming services, DoorDash, everything is at your fingertips. And this is the idea you came up with. Are you high? Because TikTok, again, are you high? I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Just the level of again, this is the difference of being black in America versus not. This is what we say about white privilege. And see, they get offended when we say there's no such thing as white privilege. But no, 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 no. The privilege is you somehow came to this conclusion at 3 a.m. without a single consideration of repercussions. We're gonna play ding dong ditch at 3 o'clock in the effing morning. You know what? That ain't good enough. Yo, let's kick on the doors a little bit. In an open carry state. I've never known such freedom.
What is it called? Darwinism?
I've never known like it's certain you
Mm.
can tell the people who have never had to start a sentence with, yo, is they racist there? You ain't never had to ask that question. You ain't never had to start a sentence with that.
Natural
Ever.
selection. See?
And this is sadly where the privilege can get you hurt or killed. And this is not me making fun of it. This is just the level
Oh, I'm
of
making fun of it. I am. Good.
bro. No, because and again, this is where the parent in me kicks in. Because I'm thinking in terms of if I get that phone call, I my son is gone because it is.
Because I ding dong ditch at 3 a.m. If you don't say I deserve it, then I don't know what's wrong with you.
I
I'm gonna
just,
be dead like damn. Why did I do that?
again, the parent in me, I gotta feel for those parents because of all the possible things that could have happened. Uh, this, and for me, I couldn't even. I will say, through all my sadness and everything else, I'm definitely gonna be like, why is this man in jail? Why is this man in jail?
You ain't that mad then, because you know I did something real stupid.
No, because I'm like, because at some point, look, I get it. The law is the law is the law, but this is a misapplication of the law. And it's like in real time, I don't, even if I'm like, okay, if I had a ring camera and I could see who it is, it doesn't change anything. Because I can't tell y'all high school students. If even I can tell you, okay, y'all look kind of young. I don't know if you high, I don't know what you on, none of that. So my reaction is gonna be the same.
Unless you're a toddler, like obviously a kid. If you look tall enough, you getting boomed on. No, like come on, like you don't have to knock and kick. The kick in the door part was killing me because now that just seems like some extra stuff. Like you're really trying to get in it because one right kick, you could kick open that door.
You
Then what?
could. And I
And
don't,
I'm not gonna be thinking it's a joke.
no, not at all.
At three
Not
in
at
the
three,
morning, no
not
one
at
is
three.
thinking this shit is a joke. This is why I don't feel bad. No one is playing with you at 3 in the morning. If you want to play, play with yourselves. Stop
Yeah,
playing with like, bro. This is where I guess the old head me is coming out. This new generation just don't understand boundaries like badly because of TikTok and streaming. People have boundaries. Everyone is not fucking playing. Stop. If play with
it's
yourselves or play with each other. Don't play with me. Don't play with other people. Everyone is not on that timing, especially at 3 in the morning. That's probably when most people are the most aggressive because you probably woke up.
yeah, and it's like like if we gonna be really real with it, me, I love your generation, but sometimes some members of your generation don't understand that my generation is the F around and find out generation. So a lot of the games and jokes I be seeing on online, like, yeah, the ass whooping y'all be getting, y'all be asking for.
That's bad.
Like,
That's not millennials. Millennials probably we did some dumb things when we were younger, but that was 2000s, all that. This
right.
stuff now with all the streaming and all that, because we didn't have that when we were kids. All this stuff now, people just lack boundaries and just do all types of stupid. And I see it, and I'd be so happy when they get touched. Not like that, but just a simple ass whooping just does society very well. I'm sorry. Sometimes it does well, then that person should not be charged. I'm sorry. I don't think you should go to prison for just fighting. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Some people need to ask for. Lesson learned in blood will never be forgotten. So yeah, some people just need to ask for. The worst part happened. He got booed on.
And that's like I said, I absolutely feel bad for the parents. Obviously, I am a parent, and I couldn't imagine getting a phone call, "Hey, your son's no longer here," and then find out the reason why. But again, through all the hurt and the grief, there's no way I'd be I'd be sitting here, I'd be petitioning to have this brother, I'd be petitioning to have this person released. There's no way I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, he should rot in prison.
Oh,
There's no logical way I could come to that conclusion.
like I said, unless it came out that they did the stupid stuff and he pursued. If he didn't pursue or keep
Right,
shooting when they were running away and were cheating,
right,
then this is pretty much self-defense, literally. You're on my property, you banging you're a potential threat. That seems like you're trying to get in there at 3 in the morning when you probably sleep. You just got woken up by that. Everyone is probably at their most dangerous when you just get woken up. I know
mhm,
I am. So yeah,
right, right.
leave people alone. If you're gonna do this stupid, you do it during the daytime. I don't even recommend doing that at all. Don't do this at all. That
I
era is
know
dead.
parents things.
That era is dead. You missed it. I'm sorry you weren't born back then. I'm sorry. But you got TikTok and virtual all this now. So keep it on the internet. Y'all learn in real time that the internet is not real life.
Right.
Come on, Gen Z. You better than this.
Agreed. And sadly, like I said, look, we're gonna have a real conversation. This is white privilege, and it is gone way wrong, way wrong. Because the problem with white privilege is, as I've said, the problem in this country. A lot of white folks have gotten their time frame confused. Fam, this ain't the '60s no more. This is why you see on TikTok and on social media, you see certain white people getting duffed out for popping off crazy to black folks. 'Cause this ain't, no, dog, you're not pouring coffee on me and spitting on me no more. You disrespect, you gonna get these hands. It ain't. I know some of y'all pops might have told y'all, back in my day, when those niggas got a line, yeah, I got you. You got your hoods out the closet and you burn some crosses and you intimidated folk. Understood, loud and clear. I need certain white folk to understand this ain't that. You gonna get these hands or worse. And the privilege, I get it. It's invisible to you. It's just life to you. You do what you want. I understand it as much as I can, right? I need y'all to understand it's gonna start coming with penalties. Small part. Like you used to be able to call people that word and get away with it. Y'all getting fired now. You saying you talk reckless online because it's online. Y'all getting doxxed now. People will come to your spot now. So I strongly suggest you might want to check your privilege because it's starting to come with penalties. And old Donnie boy can't save you. You really can't. The old Donnie boy can't save you. And I get it. Y'all saw the January 6th people get all pardoned. Da, da, da. Yeah, but it don't always work out that way, fam. I strongly suggest you do a heat check, do a temperature check, and figure out that privilege got some limits. That privilege got some limits, yo. So there's that. Right. There is a 12-foot black woman in the world's greatest city. There's actually a 12-foot bronze statue of a black woman in New York City. I did not think such a thing would cause such a ruckus. Sadly, white folks are still showing their natural born asses and seem quite perturbed by this sculpture. Now, the sculptor is British. Brits have a very different idea of racism than we do than what occurs in America. Now remember, just American history. America is Britain's bastard child. But the key difference here is for much BS as this country picked up from their motherland, for lack of a better term, Britain, to my knowledge, has never had slavery on their shores. And that is the crux of everything wrong here. I'll let you Jeter this one. Have you seen any weird reactions or any thoughts on this statue, sir?
I haven't paid attention, so I can't speak on it.
Okay, so I've seen it. What's interesting though, and this is the wild part, the sculptor has said he wanted to do something that just encapsulated your normal black woman. To see the statue, she is pretty much representative of your average black woman. Um, Pretty much no real expression. The stance is not aggressive or passive. She is being normal. Normal. What's wild is the reaction of white folks and black folks. I done seen black folk. I don't like it. I don't dig it. It is just wild
I didn't know it was.
because it's wild because it's pissing off white folk, and even black folk is getting a certain kind of way. And the irony of it is, literally, just want to design your average black woman doing nothing but existing. And if that ain't a damn metaphor, so black women can't even just exist normally without somebody having a damn problem. Even the people that look like her. Like that. If that ain't the wildest metaphor, dog. You make a statue of a black woman existing. Existing. She ain't like our homies from the Olympics throwing up the black fist. There's no scowl, ain't no hip, it's not a mammy. It's just a regular ass black woman doing a regular ass black woman look. And everybody then got their feelings. And if this ain't a metaphor, I don't know what is. That's the part that's wild to me.
I'm seeing two statues. I don't know which one it is.
Make sure you look at the one in Times Square.
Is it? She got her hands on her hip?
Yes.
Oh, with the
Just,
braids.
just yes. Just and he's done other sculptures before, but this one just is 12 feet tall. But he wanted to capture the average black woman. There's no real expression. There's
So,
nothing.
so what is black people's problem with it? Is it because the figure, how she's shaped?
Oh, I've heard that. And I'm like, to me, this further illustrates the conditioning that we've had at this point because
She's not skinny, a size one. I
not
know.
skinny, not these um, ridiculous proportions. No, there's no butt implants here. There's no breast implants here. No, you don't have to like a video vixen. And it's just, like I said, the irony of all of this is you have a normal black woman. That's it. Doing nothing in particular. And everybody's losing their shit.
Yeah, that's reality. I think that's. I don't know if that was the sculptor's point to just pretty
Mm-hmm.
much put a
Mm-hmm.
mirror to everyone. Like, yo, we just gonna put a normal person just sitting there and
No,
watch y'all just pick her apart from
no,
everyone on both sides. Your own people, like I said, this is why it's bad being a black American is horrible. It sucks at times, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause you get it from everyone else and your own. It's
right.
crazy. I'm just like you just can't look at the sketches like that. It's a good sculpture work and then keep it pushing. We got it up. See, she's not size 0. Up, no BB. Up. She got locks. Up. What are we doing?
Right. And I'm like, it's literally a black woman doing nothing.
Just
Just,
sitting there.
just existing. Just existing.
But she doesn't hold to the standards of everyone. She doesn't hold to the white standards. She doesn't hold to, I guess, beauty standards. It's just that it doesn't hold to people's standards. That is all bullshit and subjective anyway. So I don't know.
Right. And
Hey,
the article I was reading talked about how white people are taking pictures mocking it, to be expected.
yeah,
Which is wild to me because again, it's not somebody with Meg Thee Stallion proportions in a bikini. It's not, you know, somebody who looked like how Lizzo used to look. So, but which is both opposites of the spectrum. This is just a regular ass black woman, and it speaks volumes to me that a regular ass black woman is causing y'all this much issue. So imagine what our sisters deal with on a day-to-day basis. And like you just pointed out, it ain't even from just white folk. The shit is coming from folk who look like her.
yeah, that's normal though. That happens a lot. Like I said, it's tough being. Like I said, they are the most disrespected group on the planet. That is still true, and that statue pretty much proved the point. Like, why is that statue getting so much disrespected from everyone? It's not just white people. Everyone, us included, not us, but you know.
Mhm.
But just sitting there. So yeah, if that don't prove Malcolm's point, I don't know what does. Like if you think example, why black people are the most disrespected? Just look at the statue, look at the comment section.
It is wild. So we should, and somebody, and it's just white people, and I saw
That's Gene.
something online where someone posted a picture of a skinny white person holding a baby, and next to this statue, like this is the statue we should have got versus what we really got. And I'm like, do you? It's almost pathology at this point. Dear white people, do you need to be centered in everything? Does everything have to be about you? Everything.
Yes.
So which is it? Do you not want us here at all, or do you just want us here to steal our culture and make us a subsection? Like I get confused sometimes because everything but equity, everything but equality, everything but reparations. You don't want to go to school with us. You don't want to live near us. You don't take no ownership for the conditions you've created. You, it is just mind blowing. What version of black is acceptable? I'm curious. Not even rhetorical.
A
What
white pastor.
version? What is that?
You know what that is. Here's a few. You know the one drop. There are white pastor.
So basically the sister and sinners. Got it. Yeah.
I said, I guess you can. I guess you can count that. I don't count that, but it's good. You know what? It's a whole nother subject. I'm saying like a logic or something. Like you have a full bred. I said full bred. A full black father or Isaiah Hardenstein. You couldn't tell me that was a brother. You know, I said the center for the Knicks. I mean, not the Knicks. The Thunder. You couldn't tell me that's a biracial dude.
I
Logic, you
know.
couldn't tell me. Rest in
Yeah,
peace
you're
to
right.
him, but I think he was biracial too. It was a Disney dude. I forgot his name. I think it's Cameron Boyce. You couldn't tell me that's a biracial kid. Like there
Okay.
is some that you legit can that are white passing to a T. But
That's just,
but
wow.
other than that, yeah, nah.
But yeah, all of this over just a. I bet this is not going the way he anticipated. Like, yo, check this out. And from an idealistic standpoint,
It did.
yo, check this out. I'm gonna make a sculpture of a black woman. What's she gonna be doing? Nothing. Oh, that's dope. Like again, if he had a conversation with me, right? He's like, yo, I'm gonna make a statue of a black woman. Oh, what's she gonna do? Nice. She's gonna be chilling. Shit. I bet. That's what's good. What could possibly go wrong?
Famous last words. Like I said, I don't know what the intent was. If this was the intent, like a social experiment, boy,
No, he
boy,
just wanted to, if I'm not mistaken, he just wanted to show a black woman standing in her strength, not doing anything in particular, not being defiant or submissive, just a black woman, literally just a black woman existing.
nope, can't add that here.
I'm just
Can't add that.
so again, I have to wonder what can black people, in particular black women, do that is not problematic.
Black people, but nothing. If it's not making you money or entertaining me or arousing me, nothing.
Wow.
That's all we're good for. Entertainment, making money, or arousal, or sexual. That's it. That almost sounds like a not full human person. Serve to me. Oh.
Jeez. That's just wild.
Mm,
Okay.
mm, mm.
Ah, damn bars. But all right, last thing. Sports related, this is wild. It's there's no good reason for the Knicks to not make the NBA finals. But while I do despise most things Boston, gotta send get well wishes to Dookie. Like Jason Tatum, it is confirmed he has a ruptured Achilles and is cooked for the year. And honestly,
Two
based on
years.
everything I've heard,
2 years.
what do you say?
He ain't playing next season. So he probably ain't gonna play till 27.
Yeah, no, that's a full year out. He'll be back the year after, but that's a full year going because of when it happened. Like he won't be back for the 26-27 season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 25, 20. No, it's 24,
24,
25. Not bad.
25. He
So
won't
he'll be
play
back
the
25,
25,
26.
26. So he'll be back in 27. See, pretty much 27.
Jeez. Oh God, this couldn't come at a worse time. And by then that team might be completely broke up.
They're probably breaking up this year.
Yeah. But and it's one thing I can tell you about that's cool about being in Texas right now, being in Dallas in particular.
Cool.
Yo, between Page Buckets and Cooper Flag, you can believe I'm getting me some tickets.
This
You
gotta
can
be
believe.
rigged, bro. How do both teams get the number one picks of great?
Well, I don't think there's a lottery for WNBA, is it? It's like NFL. Who had to, or is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it just if whoever had the worst record, but I don't remember. I don't remember.
Fact
But
that he gets a free pass. I still think Nico's gonna mess it up because he wants to
oh,
win
they
now. So
well
I'm
they
pretty
already
sure he's gonna
talking
trade him.
about they already talking about is there a way to leverage that to get Giannis here? And I'm like,
No, he's going to Spurs. Wemby and
that's
Giannis.
not good either. Like that's actually worse.
Worse.
That's actually worse. Like
And a good
at the
one.
time the Spurs did it, putting David Robinson and Tim Duncan together was brilliant. And this, no, that'd be horrible. I'm
That's a great
sorry.
fit. What are you talking about?
Bruh, it was different when they said, yo, LeBron and Luka can't play together. We're like, okay, whatever.
This is a good because you gotta understand how they both play to know that this is a good fit. Wemby likes to shoot a lot of threes and play on the perimeter. Basically, he's a souped up. I'm not. He's way more than souped up. He is the final boss of Brook Lopez, and that worked. Like Giannis is a 4, Wemby is a 5. Wemby he can go in the paint, but he plays out in the perimeter. Giannis is going to the paint. They both can pass. They both got skill. So it is a match made, and then you're not scoring in the paint. It's just not happening.
it.
because
I think
either one of them was gonna catch you. So it's like, so
I
yeah,
think I think playing in Dallas would be it.
that's not gonna work. 'Cause you
100%.
playing with AD. It's two fours plus injury problems. You like I'm sorry. If Giannis really wants to win, his best shot is the Spurs. Maybe the Rockets if they get more shooters, but it's the Spurs.
Yeah, Houston would probably be a better fit, but it's a matter of what would Houston have to give up.
I
Um,
wouldn't do Houston if I was them. I'd do Spurs.
if Nico Harris blows this, he's pretty much going to get fired the next day. Like it's not even. In fact, you know what? If they draft anyone other than Cooper Flag, he's going to get fired like right there on the spot.
Nah, he drafted. It's just will he trade him? That's the problem.
And I don't want to see Cooper Flag in Milwaukee. Ugh. Like I'd rather see Cooper Flag here.
Me too.
Cooper Flag because he's a stretch three. So Cooper Flag next to
Three
yeah,
slash
but
four, depending on.
right. But
Yeah,
I'm like Kyrie. Oh my God, Kyrie at the point, Flag at the three, 80 at the four, and one of them other dudes at the five. Lively at the five. Yeah, that's this is how you save your job, Nico. This is how you save your job.
yeah, but he wants to win now. Remember, he said that.
That's why you get Cooper Flag. That's why you get Cooper Flag.
But a lot of superstars are on the market. He wants to win now, and he said himself. He doesn't see himself being a general manager next 4 years anyway. So the window is 4 years.
Okay. Okay.
So
So you've already traded away one generational talent, sir. You want to blow two?
so
There's no way.
let's do hypothetical. You trade him for Giannis in the middle of his apex prime, and you try to win now. What's a better option?
Problem is, you got a dude already plays Giannis' position.
I
That already
agree.
said I don't like playing the five.
I
I do
agree.
not like playing the
That's
five.
why I said this Giannis thing ain't happening. But KD's on the market. Maybe Devin Booker. Maybe
Devin going nowhere.
Zion. Maybe Ja. Maybe Trey. Well, you don't really need Trey because of Kyrie. But
Devin
there's a
ain't
lot of
Devin ain't good.
superstars that are probably going to be on the market.
Yeah,
It's
but Devin ain't going nowhere. You're not gonna lose. And if you're in Phoenix, you're not gonna lose KD and Devin Booker. Now
why
you have
not?
no team.
Because
Because now you have no team.
yeah, you rebuild. That's the point.
You sitting there and then you sitting there with that Bradley Beal contract. Like, no, this
That's why you rebuild. Because he's the reason why they can't get better teammates, which is their fault because they got him. So yeah,
Mhm.
to
Well,
reset.
hold on. Bruh, if I told you, look, I'm gonna put Bradley Beal, KD, and Booker on the same team, you gonna think that's murderer's row.
No, I didn't. I hated it when it happened, but that's just me. Because you don't need Bradley Beal because you got D Book. They all do the same basically. And I'm sorry, Bradley Beal hasn't been that dude for a while. So
I don't know
yeah,
how did he get a no trade clause? Like, shout out to his agent because I'm like,
yeah,
what?
that is shout out to his agency.
How
But
did he get a no trade
you
clause?
got that contract with a no trade clause.
Wow, salute.
I need that agent.
Right. Like we need if yeah, I said it needs an agent, call that guy.
Yep,
Call that guy.
yep.
We need some guaranteed bread. Zion is definitely going to get traded. The question is to where.
I'm on the
Because
Chiefs.
I forgot about that, but yeah, Zion definitely going to be in New Orleans. And the running thing is, look, it was always talk that he didn't want to be there in the first place.
He
Whether or
did.
not that's true, whether or not that's true, because he, on drive night, he said all the right things, like I'm happy to be here,
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
But look at it. See, your eyes don't lie. Look at his expression when the New Orleans
The
New
yeah,
Orleans,
you go.
even
So I'm
though
like, but the NBA overall, I don't know who comes out the West. Like,
probably OKC if they
I
win.
hate, I hate this. I hate that Steph got hurt. Like, I hate that Steph got
Yeah,
hurt.
it's cooked. That's over.
Oh
That's
yeah, they're done.
done.
Playoff Jimmy it's yeah,
Non-existent. Yeah,
not right now. Not right now.
and yeah, he hasn't existed in probably 2 years too, to be honest. But yeah,
Hmm.
eh, injuries suck, man. It was a great playoff start. I ain't gonna lie, it was an all-time playoff start. Now
Yeah,
starting
but
to
it's
turn to
getting
BS because people getting hurt.
it's getting bad. But hey, the hope is on the Knicks. If somehow, some way, I'm trying to think who in the West. Okay, um, yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Anybody. the Knicks can get washed by OKC. I think anybody else got a chance.
Oh yeah, the Wolves got a chance. That'd be even more fun because honestly, this is the first time ever that we saw a win-win trade work out the next year. Cause Cat,
Yeah, it really did. It
cause
really
it'll
did.
be Cat versus Julius,
Oh,
and they switch teams.
okay. Thank you. You just gave me because I'm like, there's no interesting storylines left.
Oh, that's an interesting storyline.
That's story. Yeah, New York versus Minnesota. Okay, let's go. New York, Minnesota in the finals. That would be cool.
Because you
That
literally
would be so
swap
cool.
players and it worked out for
And,
both.
right. That would okay. So I'm hoping for New York, Minnesota in the finals. There we go. That's the most captivating thing. It's
Yeah,
gonna be fun watching New York in this New York Indy series though. That's gonna be fun. But wow,
who
who saw Cleveland going home?
I told I swore I said on the show that who's the dark horse. I said Indiana. I was
I
right.
think you did. I think you did. Halliburton got the ugliest shot, but the mofo goes in.
That's all that matters. Hey, Sean
Like
Marion shoot like a first grader,
I
but
was
he
just
went
about
in.
to say, this cat shoot like Sean Marion with just a little more arch. Like this cat is Sean Marion with just like a little more arch on
But
that
it
shot.
was money, so it that I don't care. You can shoot underhand as long as it go in. Go
Yeah,
in.
it was like between Sean Marion and Tayshaun Prince, that's just some of the ugliest form ever in life. But it goes in.
All that matters.
So yeah, we okay. You just gave me my hope. I'd love to see a New York Minnesota final. Let's go, Ant Man.
I still want Russ to win, but I
It's
gotta
not
get
looking
past
good.
DC.
It's not looking good, bro. This ain't that is that 2-2 or 3-1?
It's 2-2. I think
It's 2-2.
yeah, the next game's tonight. So
Oh, that's right. So he's gonna tell us everything we need to know. Because I'm like, only reason I want Denver to win because
I
I
do too.
think Minnesota would have an easier time with Denver than they would OKC.
I agree.
So I'm like, I'm cheering for Denver because I need Minnesota to make the final. So a Minnesota New York final. That's
So
the last remaining decent storyline.
I'm cool with that, but I want Russ to win one, so I'm still rooting for Denver.
True. Because I don't really want to watch Indy OKC in the finals.
Yeah, that'll be a wash. I'm sorry.
Oh God, that'd be one of the lowest rated
That'd
finals
be a
ever.
wash. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that.
Like Indy and OKC, I think I'm 2.5 hours away from OKC. I'd probably drive there and get tickets for $100. Like, so Oklahoma City, dog. So Oklahoma City.
Yeah, we root for the Knicks to make the finals. We both in
We are,
agreement
we
there.
are,
But
we are. We absolutely are. All right. So let's recap this thing, sir. Taking it from the top. When your spiritual advisor is a pedo, that just the jokes write themselves. They absolutely write themselves. Um, Rodney Hinton Jr. Yeah, I don't agree, but I understand. I don't agree, but I understand. As a black man, as a parent, I understand. I don't know how these officers got acquitted of Tyre Nichols' murder, which goes back to the point I just made. Don't agree, but I understand. Um, to my brother in Virginia, like I don't understand. I don't understand other than it goes back to what my co-host said. Maybe we don't have equal protection under the law after all. Still, I am hard pressed to see how there is video evidence of kids kicking on your door and garage at 3 a.m. and you fired, and somehow you are being held without bail. Don't understand it, and unless it is what we all think it is, and that is unfortunate. Um, I also don't understand why the Black woman statue in Times Square is causing such ruckus. Based on what I've seen from the statement from the artist, he just wanted to make a symbol of a Black woman just existing. And it is sad what a Black woman existing has caused reaction wise. And yeah, Knicks versus Wolves in the finals. We'd love to see it. That's the last remaining good storyline. That's that's it. That's the only thing that pops here that gets ratings up because no one wants to watch Indy and OKC in the finals. Sorry. Just yeah. Your recap, sir.
uh, Trump's spiritual advisor being a pedo makes sense. Now, the brother that off the officer, I agree with you. Well, I can't say fully agree with you because I kind of agree with it too. So yeah, I understand and kind of agree on GTA. The Virginia, yeah, kids that got popped should have been playing them games, man. 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry, but I mean, you learned your lesson. Well, 2 of y'all did. 1 didn't. But hey, rest in peace. Uh, the Virginian dude. Wait, hold on. No. Oh, the black woman statue. Yep. It just says Malcolm was right. Put it on the mug. And then the NBA. I'm cool with the Knicks and Wolves, but I want Russ to win one. Even though Denver's been beating our back in the last few years, I still want Russ to win one. Couldn't win one with us because it's LeBron's fault. I don't care. But yeah, I'm cool. If he can win one Denver, I ain't mad at it. I just want him to win one before he retires. That's the only thing he missed.
Yeah, him and Harden both.
Yeah, I don't care about it. But Russell, yeah.
Why we got smoke for? Why I got smoke for Harden? But
I
okay.
know. He got smoked with Game 7. Boy, he don't never show up. But yeah. Don't fight
Oh
me.
goodness.
Fight that 7. 7 is not a lucky number for you, buddy. Yeah.
All right. On behalf of myself and my amazing co-host, as always, it is a blast to do this. But same bad time, same bad channel next week from the Yeah I Said It podcast. Peace.
Yeah.